Well, Kazakhstan's president says constitutional order has been mainly restored in all regions of his country. His words come after massive anti-government protests swept across the nation this week, leaving dozens dead, according to state media. The president went on to say that the anti-terror operation is now underway and security forces are working hard. CNN's Nick Robertson has more on the crackdown and its aftermath.
On Almaty's streets, in a hard-to-verify social media post, an ugly overnight crackdown. People scream and scurry for cover, panic as well as bullets in the air. They're dead, a man says. A motionless body just out of safe reach, stretched out on the freezing ground. In the same city, the country's biggest, protesters fought pitched battles with uniformed forces, casualties accumulating on both sides. Law enforcement appearing to gain the upper hand with arrests and killings. Police claim they took deadly action overnight, describing an as yet unverified, shadowy, shoot first, ask questions later crackdown.
Last night, extremist forces attempted to storm the administrative buildings and police department in the city of Almaty. Dozens of attackers were eliminated and their identities are still being verified.
The mayor's burnt-out office in Almaty, apparent testimony to the ferocity of the battles fought. Without offering proof, the Kazakh president claiming protesters are foreign-backed terrorists, an often used trope to deflect blame that the Russian government is also repeating, a characterization rejected by protesters. We are neither thugs nor terrorists, this woman says. The only thing flourishing here is corruption. We want the truth, this protester says. The government is rich, but all of these people here have loans to pay. We have our pain and we want to share it. But truth and facts here are in short supply. The internet down for a second day. Residents reporting a scary quiet, braving government warnings to stay indoors, to go out and search for open shops to buy essentials. Russian state media reporting heavily on allegedly rampant looting by some protesters, as well as highlighting violence against Kazakh law enforcement. As part of a regional security agreement, Russian paratroopers began deploying to guard state and military facilities. A fourth consecutive day of protest. Gunfire and explosions still rocking Almaty. Nick Robertson, CNN, Moscow.
Well, I want to bring in Diana Kuday-Burganova, who is an assistant professor of political sociology at the University of Cambridge. Good to have you with us, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, fuel prices was the catalyst for the protests, but it's far from the only reason for this discontent. Unemployment is high, wages are low, there's this pandemic-induced recession. How tough is life right now for people in Kazakhstan? And were this unrest, was it a long time coming?
Yes, definitely. And I've been saying it for a while that gas prices were just like, the trigger that as you said, that initially fueled it. But the problems are much deeply seated in the society. People, I think, in the past decade have been slowly but surely losing the social security. They've been seeing that the regime was talking about, economic modernization and about the promises of the, of the development and so on and so forth. But ordinary folk, especially in the lower class strata, did not really see those promises being implemented in their daily lives. So I think that's what we're seeing right now. It's the response to that lack of social security.
And how much of a problem is corruption? Because I've heard some analysts describe it as endemic. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And then we need to also separate it into different levels. There is a large-scale corruption that people are very much aware of, and it's in public, like, especially of the lavish real estate and the types of projects that very high level top elite are able to afford. Then there's also everyday corruption on a smaller scale. It basically is part of everyday life and people are aware of it. And of course, it causes a lot of discontent and injustice. that people are aware of, that inequalities that they're experiencing are caused by the system that is built. And they also, what is really important, that they connect this economic problems, corruption, um, down to the regime that caused it. And one of my colleagues, I said, Lou is describing it as system, as people are responding to it as calling it the system, meaning that it's the regime that caused it.
Yeah. So, Diana, Russia's version of NATO, the CSTO, a group of former Soviet countries, has sent in its military. There are now troops on the ground. I'm wondering what Putin stands to gain from getting involved. Does he simply want stability, or is there perhaps an ulterior motive?
Well, I think, in my opinion, again, I'm very cautious with speculations here, especially in this early moment. We still have to see how it's going to pan out. But definitely, I think one of the main messages right now that is circulating informally, that it is about stability. And again, I'm basing it on my colleagues who are the IR specialists, and they're talking about the fact that definitely for Russia, Kazakhstan is the biggest ally in the region. It's the biggest country as well, and they want the stability all across their borders. And Kazakhstan is sharing one of the largest territorial border with Russia. So definitely, the first cause would be the stability in the country. Nobody wants, Kazakhstan to be the hotspot right now.
Yeah. So this is a country known to crack down on dissent. How unprecedented are these protests?
Well, the protests, and it's very important that the protests have been happening in the country for at least a decade, and we've seen a number of different waves in 2011 that were violently cracked down in Western Kazakhstan, city of Zhanaozen in 2011. We've seen the 2014 protests against the devaluation, which were very, very important, and they were also cracked down, but thankfully there were not any casualties. Then 2016 mass land protests, and finally 2019 Kazakh Oktyabr, basically the political protests that have caused and created a number of political and social movements in Almaty particularly. But this protest is unprecedented in terms of the mass, that is spread across the whole country, and it's also unprecedented in terms of the types of violent, destructive elements that went on the street, and as a result, that's what we're seeing right now with the clashes. And with all the tragedies and casualties on both sides, both law enforcement, unfortunately, and the civilians, or as the government calls them, terrorists. So the violence is absolutely unprecedented.
I wanted to ask you about that, Diana, because the president has referred to these protesters as foreign terrorists. What audience is he playing to?
I think both domestic and outside audience. And I think what is also important here is that Kazakhstan, well, we don't have internet in the country for the past 2 days, so people are largely disinformed. And I think what's also very important, and what I've been hearing from Almaty when the internet comes back a bit, is that people are completely disoriented and anxious. Because imagine being in a city where you have to stay indoors, you hear all the shootings happening, you hear the explosions, but you have no idea what is happening, because Kazakhstan is a very digitally connected nation, so people are always using messengers, social media, and so on and so forth. And now the only source of information is basically state media, and a lot of people are feeling very, very anxious because the trust in state media is very low in Kazakhstan. And people simply they don't know what's going on their streets. So the accounts I've been having from Almaty, the people are saying it's torture not knowing what's going on. But it's definitely the audience is both domestic and foreign, because it justifies certain actions, because there will be violence in terms of cracking down these protests, which I don't know if it's we're gonna analyze it in coming days whether it was a good decision or not. But it's definitely very alarming for local population. And I feel for Almaty residents who are very anxious and scared right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, good to get your analysis right now. Diana Kuday-Burganova, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.